Hi, Kumar here. Now we're going to be going over the strategy 2 short trade example. So we've got a short trade here. We've got the price trending down. We've got the MAs in the right direction. They're all trending down. And so we're looking for a short trade somewhere here. We see an ABCD formation here. So just before this D point is completed here, let's say at this green bar here, we're identifying this ABCD, possible ABCD. We say that if price comes up to this D point that we're identifying, remember, how do we identify this D point? We look at A to B, that same distance we take to point C and we project it up. And we say at that price, that is our D point. So when that's hit, we want to be entering this for a short. So we sell when that price is hit. And we're looking to put our stop loss at a decent place. So where do we put it? We go left. And we see that obviously all of these, whatever pivot highs are here, they're obviously lower than our entry point. Why would we even look there? So we're obviously looking for price higher in this area here to put our stop. So we see that this pivot high here is too close to the entry to place the stop. Then we've got all of these here that are lower than this pivot high, so we look for the next highest pivot high, which is this one here. Now this pivot high is too far from entry to place the stop. It's more than 75% of the C to D leg, as we discussed in the trading rules. So what do we do here? We then take 50% of the C to D leg, we project that up, and that is where we put our stop. So we look at the distance between C to D in pips, we half it, and that's the amount of pips that we place our stop above the entry price. So this is the same trade. I'm just going to go back. This is the same chart. This is the ABCD. I'm just moving the chart to the right to show you what happens in the trade. So here is the ABCD. That's our entry price here. So we want to manage the trade by first waiting for the stop to be moved to break even. When do we do that? We do that when the profit in the trade equals a risk we've put on in the trade, and that is at this price here. And that's where we move our stop from wherever we originally placed it down to the entry price. And then after this price, after this break-even price has been hit, we are going to be trailing on all of the pivot highs as shown. So we wait for each bar to form, and after this red bar we see that this green high is a pivot high, so we move our stop from here down to here. Then as we go along, we see after this red bar finishes, we see that this green high is a pivot high. We move our stop lower. Then we see that this green high is a pivot high. After this green bar is formed, we move our stop slightly lower. Then after this green bar is formed, we see this red high. This red bar's high is a pivot high. We move our stop lower. And then we do the same here. And we do the same here. Obviously in between here we see there are no pivot highs, so we don't move our stop until a pivot high is identified. And after this red bar completes, we see this green bar is a pivot high. So we move our stop from here down to here. So the time we do that is when this red bar finishes, because then we fully have identified this green high to be a pivot high. Then we move it down. And then we do the same here. When this red bar completes, we see this green high is a pivot high. And then we don't have any other pivot highs, but we see price does go higher than our stop. And when price goes higher than our stop, we get stopped out. So we buy back at a profit. We sold first, this is a short trade, and then we bought back here when we get stopped out at a profit. It's a pretty decent profit there. So that was a short trade example. As you can see, the strategy is simple yet very, very powerful. And simplicity really is the key to making money consistently in the forex. Again, if you look at the super rich, they have very simple money making strategies. They just learn it so well and gain so much confidence in it that it allows them to consistently make money from their trading. This is Kumar for Trade to Success University. Please go over to the next page and we'll continue with the training.